You once really struggled with sleep, and now you are better. You are sleeping a bit better. You experience less fear and less anxiety around sleep, but you're not 100% recovered, at least not where you want to be. And you're starting to wonder, is full recovery available? Is it actually possible to not care about sleep? Or will I ever really sleep 8 hours like I used to, or be able to nap? Well, my name is Fiona, and I'm a recovered chronic insomniac turned holistic sleep coach. And let me tell you, you are so close. And yes, insomnia recovery is available to you. This is what I like to call the breakthrough stage. And truly, this means that you are almost there. And before we get into this video where I'm going to be breaking down what this stage looks like and also what you can do about it to kind of push you over to that next stage of full recovery, I want you to just know that you have already come so far. And that is an achievement in itself. Insomnia is difficult. It takes courage to face the fear. It takes courage not to take supplements and medication. And it takes courage to truly arrive in a place where recovery seems like it is possible for you. So I know that you're not yet fully there, but just know that where you are right now is completely valid and actually very admirable to begin with. And before we get into what this breakthrough stage really is and what to do about it, if you feel like you're still really struggling with sleep and you're unsure as to how to break the cycle, then I do invite you and encourage you to check out my 5 days to better sleep email newsletter. It is linked here below. And this will provide you with all of the education and information that you need to truly start taking insomnia recovery into your own hands. Anyway, back to it. So what is this breakthrough stage and how did we get here? When we first start struggling with sleep, we are in the panic stage, stage 1. We are lost, confused, overwhelmed. Through that journey of being overwhelmed and lost, we eventually stumble upon education and we understand insomnia from a logical standpoint. And through that logic, we also understand that insomnia has nothing to do with logic. We can understand insomnia, but not truly feel it inside of our own body. Once we start understanding this, we move into stage 2. This is the backwards and forwards stage. And this is where logic and fear have a dialogue. You sometimes know that wakefulness isn't to be feared, and sometimes you don't. You really are swinging back and forth between confidence and fear. And during this phase, you know that you can't have a dialogue with your nervous system. The only way that your nervous system will let go of the fear of wakefulness is through the exposure of wakefulness over and over and over again, and for it to truly understand and come to its own conclusions. In a way, I always like to use this analogy. The fear of insomnia is no different to the fear of dogs. When you experience, a dog attacking you when you were younger, your nervous system has internalized that dogs are evil, right? But you also logically know that not all dogs are going to harm you. However, even though you know every single dog isn't going to harm you, whenever you see a dog after that experience, you feel nervous, you feel the thoughts, the fear, the emotions, and your body is almost purposefully trying to keep you away from dogs. In order for you to learn and in order for your nervous system to heal that fear, you need to expose yourself to a lot of cute dogs over and over and over again. And it is no different to sleep and wakefulness. You're at the stage where you have been exposing yourself to wakefulness, or dogs, and your nervous system is saying, okay, you're right, maybe I don't need to fear this, but there's still an element of your nervous system that thinks, well, maybe you're wrong, or maybe something bad will happen. So that's why we're in this stage, not because you're doing anything wrong or because you should be rushing the process, but because your nervous system is rooted in survival and its number one and primary focus is safety. The fact that you're actually here shows huge amounts of growth already, and it actually proves that you are on your path to recovery. It just means that there's still residual fear. And whenever my clients ask me, okay, well, I feel like I'm not quite there, or I still have fear in certain situations, I want to encourage you to think of your fear a little bit differently. Fear only points us in the direction of the boundaries of our comfort zone. When fear presents itself in different situations related to sleep, it does not mean that you are broken. It simply means that there is more to befriend and more to teach your nervous system that it is in fact safe. So now that you know why and how you are in this situation, let's talk about what you should be doing about it in order to move you into that last and final stage of recovery, which is, again, fully recovered. So if you find yourself in this situation, what should we be doing? And I wish I had a secret formula to give you, but I'm going to encourage you to come back to the basics. Having residual fear doesn't mean that anything is wrong. It simply means that our nervous system is almost fully convinced that wakefulness isn't a threat, but it isn't fully there. That means that you have done so much work, but you still need a bit more of the same work in order to get there. That means you're not putting additional pressure on sleep. You are moving away from perfection, and you are fully trusting that your body takes the sleep it needs. It doesn't need to look a specific way or be a specific length. Number two, when wakefulness presents itself at night, you are befriending it in the moment. You are not replicating something that worked in the past. You are simply trying to control what's inside of your control. And that is how you spend your time in that present moment. Number three, when the fear presents itself, and this could be different situations, you are not pushing it away. You're not distracting yourself. You are in fact sitting with it. You recognize that fear and emotions and thoughts are signals, and they're not flaws. And the more we listen to those signals, the more we can befriend them and choose to commit to living by our values. We know that fear is the projection of something into the future, but fear doesn't know how to predict the future. So we come back and we befriend that emotion, and we come back to the present moment. And number four, and the most important thing that I want you to remember in this stage, is to practice self-kindness and compassion. We are so hard on ourselves. We tell ourselves we should be better. We shouldn't be struggling with this, when in fact, this situation isn't your fault. In a way, your body is trying to keep you safe, and it doesn't need the self-criticism and all of that negative talk that we give ourselves. So if there's that last piece that maybe is missing, I would encourage you to sit down, ask yourself, what would I tell a loved one who is struggling with the same? And why is that not available for me? Anyway, you now know what to do. You know that you are almost there, and that should be unbelievably encouraging. So keep going. Please do not give up. And let me remind you, it is impossible to go back to the first stage of panic. You're almost there. And yes, Insomnia Recovery is fully available. I hope you liked this video, and I hope this has given you a bit of encouragement and understanding as to where you're at and what you can be doing about it. And if you have any comments, any concerns, or any questions, please go ahead and drop those below, and I promise to personally get back to you.